go.
Hello class, it's Mr. James here. Thank you for joining us on another video. We are talking about arrays and repeated addition today. So we're going to use some of the strategies we learned in this module to answer some of the quiz questions that you've seen. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look at question 1. It says the picture below shows 4 groups of 3 stars. Fill in the blanks to make the repeated addition and multiplication sentences true that represent the picture. So what do we notice here straight off the bat? They said 4 groups of 3 stars, and then they want to make our repeated addition and multiplication sentence true. Now, if you remember from class, you would remember that repeated addition is where you're simply repeating the same number however many times it asks you to, and then a multiplication sentence is simply wanting you to write that using multiplication to find a product. Okay, so we see here that we have 4 groups of 3 stars, and I can count that out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we know we have 3 in each. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, so that will be our addition sentence. Is 3 represented how many times? 4 times, because we have 4 what? Groups. Okay, so if we count our stars here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means that 3 4 times is 12, which makes our multiplication sentence 4 times 3 equals 12. Okay, so repeated addition is one strategy that I actually recommend, and it can be easier for you to solve if you want to truly stick to the addition of it all. You can also do that by using parentheses here. We also know that 3 plus 3 is 6, and 3 plus 3 again is 6, and then what is 6 plus 6? 12. Okay, that's our good friend parentheses that we can use to group our numbers to help us add a little bit more. Okay, let's look at question 2. Question 2 states to draw a picture to show 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6, then write a multiplication sentence to represent the picture. All right, so let's go ahead and start that. We can draw any picture, and some of you may draw equal groups, or some of you may draw number bonds, but remember, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that they all have the same number of groups and the same number of sides based on the addition sentence that you were given. So I'm going to draw equal groups first, and I want you to notice how many 2s do you see? You see 3 2s, which means you should have how many groups? 3. So I'm going to do that here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so since you see 3 groups, what number goes inside of each group? 2. So I'm going to put 2 dots inside of each group. Okay, so now that I've put 2 dots inside of each group, we can clearly see that if we do this, 2 plus 2 plus 2, we get 6. And you can just skip count by 2's here. 2, 4, 6, right? Another way I could do this is by drawing a number bond, right? So I have 6 here as my total, and I'm noticing I got 3 2's, 2, and 2. And as I do that, I can simply skip count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, and our multiplication sentence would be 2 times 3 equals 6, or we can flip this to do our commutative property, and we can see that 3 times 2 also gives us the same answer of what? 6. All right. Now let's take a look at question 3. This one straight off the bat, what do you notice? What model do you see first? You see an array. Okay. This question has 2 parts. It says that there are 4 rows of hearts. How many hearts are in each row? And then the second question says write a multiplication equation to describe the array. So you can straight off the bat see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, just like it said. And how many is inside of each row? I'm going to circle the rows to make it easier for you to count. And this is a strategy that I recommend as well. You see that there are 3 hearts in each row, right? So we can actually skip count by 4s, or we can skip count by 3s. Let's skip count by 3s first. 3, 6, 9, 12. If you want to skip count by 3s, you'll get your multiplication equation a little bit better. And if I do that here, I would write that out as 4 times 3 equals 12. Do you think you could tell me the commutative property of that? The commutative property of 4 times 3 equals 12 is 3 times 4 equals 12. All right, so this was a question of an array. We just want to remember that this is an array, okay? Question 4, we're talking about Judy and some marbles here. It says that Judy collects marbles. She arranges them into 3 rows of 6. Draw Judy's array to show how many marbles she has altogether. Then write a multiplication equation to describe your array. Okay, so she has marbles and she wants to arrange them into 3 rows of 6. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to have how many in each row? 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We already have 1 on the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So now you have 3 rows of 6. And you can simply count by using your array here, or you can skip count as well. So that's what I'm going to do. We can skip count by 3s, or we can skip count by 6s. And the last one, we skip counted by the number of in each row. This time I'm going to skip count going this way. So how many do you see in this first column here? You see 3. Let's keep counting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And all we did was count by 3s. You can also skip count by 6s. Let's do that at the top here. 6, 12, and then the last one you have is 18. So I skip counted by going down by using my columns, and I can also skip count by using my rows as well. It's just up to you and your preference. So my multiplication equation will be 3 times 6 equals 18. And the commutative property of that will be 6 times 3 equals 18 as well. Now this question says to draw an array. So remember, if it wants you to draw an array, be sure you draw that. This last question states to draw an array that shows 5 rows of 3 squares. Then write a multiplication equation for your array. Okay, so we're going to use squares this time to represent our array. First thing we got to ask ourselves is how many rows are there? It states that there are 5 rows. So now I'm going to draw 5 rows with using squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many is in each row? What's the size of the row? 3. So we already have 1 in the first at the top. So now we got to make 2 more. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We got 1 here. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now you can choose how you want to skip count. In this case, I'm going to skip count by 3s in each row, which will make it easier for me when it comes to skip counting because I know my multiples of 3. So I'm going to do 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, it's actually 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 is last. Okay? So my multiplication equation will be 5 times 3 equals, what do we get? 15. We can also skip count by 5s as well, and I'm going to do that here at the top. 5, 10, 15. So my commutative property of the 5 times 3 equals 15 would also be 3 times 5 equals 15 as well. Okay, so this was multiple ways that we represented our equations using arrays, and we also started off with repeated addition. Going back to this question here, could we use repeated addition to help us solve this? The answer is absolutely. We can do 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 5 3 times, to help us out here. And we can use parentheses to help us out. Remember, when you're grouping numbers, you only want to group 2 numbers at a time. So that's why I put parentheses around only 5 and 5. So we know that 5 plus 5 is 10, right? Go ahead and drop down this plus 5, and you get 10 plus 5, which equals 15. So we use repeated addition as well. We could also do it the other way by simply doing 3 5 times. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go ahead and group it using our parentheses, only group 2 numbers. And as you can see, we have an odd number of 3's. But let's go ahead and solve. This will be 6 plus 6 plus 3. Continue to group. We know that 6 plus 6 is 12. And go ahead and drop down that plus 3. 12 plus 3 is equal to 15. Okay? So if this strategy works best for you, great. You can continue to use it. We did multiple problems here, and I want you to continue to practice your repeated addition and continue practice drawing your arrays. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.
Go, 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 go.